Greetings, Batprince here, and today Ms. Bat and I are playing Happiness Princess Evangile. Double Happiness?
Yep.
Okay. There's a kitty with a top hat. Kitty with a top hat. Have you played the original before? No. Just take me to the rap. No? Yes. No, yes. No. Well, we haven't. But I don't really want to read the whole chapter 0 thing. I thought I turned you down.
She's probably just the narrator.
Moon.
Woo! I breathed into my hands. It was cold. Damn, it's cold out here.
That's what your internal monologue just told us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How cool is that? The sun had set and it was so cold I had a hard time believing this school was starting soon. Of course, the state of my wallet was probably affecting my perception of the weather, as was my lack of place to go. Phew! This time I sighed. Oh. The full moon hung heavily over me. My name is Okonigi Masaya, and the cold I felt ran deep.
Right?
My story started the day before.
Why didn't we start there from the first place?
I'm tired. As usual, I returned to my apartment after work. Even though I was home, there was nothing fun to do there but stare at my father's face. I was back in my hometown for the first time in a year. I thought about rounding up my friends for karaoke, but I don't think I could see them now. Besides, I was broke. The apartment we're in now didn't require a finder's fee or security deposit.
No one cares.
Hey. That had wiped out what little savings I had. But running away with nothing but the clothes on our backs definitely saved a lot on moving expenses. However, no matter how much you save, it costs money to start a new life. I'd always been poor, but now I'm on the very verge of being penniless. I've only had to start a job, but I don't get paid until the 20th of next month. What was I going to do until then? My anxious thoughts swirled around my head, but I was forced myself to stop. It was pointless to focus on the negative. Fine, I'll just go to sleep. Possibly due to my numerous part-time jobs, I haven't had any time to sleep lately, even though one of my remaining features had always been taking care of myself enough not to get sick. I mounted the old rusted stairs that felt like they would give way every step. My old man and I holed up in a room on the second floor. I'm home, I guess he's not here. Those mob guys must have been back. Dad spent most of his time lazing around the house or fleeing from loan sharks. Of course, I told him, get a job a number of times. When I did, he'd give me the strange little smile and say, sorry, Mecha-san, I've never carried anything heavier than chopsticks before. He was really hopeless. I turned on the light. There was a strap of paper and an envelope on the table. I checked the paper first. It was my old man's handwriting written on doll store memo paper. I'm tired of this. Oh, there you go.
I'm tired of this lifestyle. I'm going on a trip.
Of course. I let it aside and then threw the note in the trash can. I put my hand to my chest compared to the sadness I experienced when my mother left. All I could feel now was relief. I glanced around the room and noticed what few belongings my dad had were now gone. My old man really had left me. In any case, he had never contributed to our life expenses. Him being gone wasn't an issue. In fact, it might make things easier. What's his envelope? A farewell gift, huh? But I don't think he's got any money. And if he did, he won't give it to me. There were 2 sheets of paper inside the envelope, as I expected. It wasn't a farewell gift at all. There was something written on them. I wondered why he kept this separate from the memo, though.
By the way, regarding the money we owe...
I'm pretty sure those debts are all yours.
I'm taking this opportunity to have them transferred to your name.
What a dick. Huh?
The documents in the envelope are my contract with the goons. I took your thumbprint while you were sleeping, haha. You slept so soundy, Masaka-kun. Your jobs must really tire you out. Try not to work yourself so hard. You need to take better care of yourself, your father.
The next thing I knew, I had crumpled up the paper in my hand. I looked down at my thumb, so that's where the red stain had come from. That old bastard. 1 year ago, we left town and lived in all my life. True Sir Grogoi. Our family life had been falling apart for as long as I could remember, all because my father was deadbeat. My mother had given up on him long ago, but didn't want to leave him until I'd reached a certain point in my life. Then, on the evening of the 10th birthday, she brought me to a park and said,
I wanted to wait until you were 10 years old.
For what?
For my divorce. You know what divorce means?
Yes.
By now you should know a little bit more of how the world works. I wanted you to understand that leaving your father was something I had to do. You know, you think I'm just making excuses, but...
I shook my head. Even as a child, I understood that my parents couldn't stay together anymore.
I see. Thank you. You are a kind boy, Messiah.
In the cold light of the street lamps, it seemed she was smiling for the first time.
Now, Mayessa, I'm sorry I don't have time to say goodbye to your friends, but we have to leave immediately.
Right now?
Yes, if I spoke to your father about it, I knew he would stop us. He has a way of bringing others around to his way of thinking. He's a genius way of talking and his way around people. I don't ever want to talk to him again. I signed the divorce papers and left them there. I'm not going to tell him we're going. You can visit him occasionally after you're grown, but for now we have to make a clean break. Now let's go. I've been packing our luggage slowly over time. We can leave before he gets home.
I'm not going.
What?
My mother's eyes opened wide as she looked at me. To her, it was all of a sudden had started speaking an alien language. In my childish way, I explained to her that I felt like I couldn't just abandon my father. Mum would have been fine on her own, but Dad wouldn't. That was a conclusion I reached, which is why I couldn't get along with my mother. Mother was upset and in the end decided to cancel that day's flight. She spent some time trying to convince me, but in the end she was the one who gave up.
Very well.
She left the house alone, promising to stay in contact with me. I could still clearly see the image of my mother walking off into the rainy night. In the end, my mum was right. I looked down at the crumpled paper in my hand. Now that I knew how the world worked, I realized my dad would have turned out this way whether I'd been there or not. But what am I going to do about this? My thumbprint was on the loan. The interest rate was 30% every 10 days. 30%! A paper like this had no legal merit, but I doubted the logic was going to appease to those two. My father's one redeeming feature was that my mother once called him genius way of talking people around. He managed to hold off even the most fearsome of loan sharks with the most laid-back manner possible. Until last year we had somehow managed to keep up, but then the debts get too big and my old man broke under the pressure, and that's when we ran away. Damn, I should have just stayed in a Teshakakako. Back then, a part of me still felt sorry for him. I had also just graduated from high school. A sense of finality might have had some influence on my actions. I graduated, then fled to some unfamiliar land and enrolled in school there. I had started to think that the loan sharks had given up and we'd made clean break, but then suddenly the local mafia came calling. How badly in debt did he get? I screamed at him. My father just gave me that little smile and shook his head. The creditors must transfer the loan to them. My father's skill as a hustler had just made the situation even worse. Unable to get around his skilled way with words, the creditors had sold his loan to the mafia, and the force that they used to collect their debt was on a completely different scale. My dad wheeled and dealed, but in the end he only brought us a year, and now we once again had returned to Kashakra. It really is a good to be home. I was mad about the short notice as usual, but I couldn't say I wasn't glad to be going back home. I just had finished my first year at school, so it was a good time to transfer. The problem was that since he never earned any money, the loan wasn't going to just disappear. I had just finished my first year at school. This time I didn't even have a chance to catch a breath in the new creditor. The efforts to collect were much more violent. I had no we couldn't keep up to this life much longer, but still, I never thought it would end like this. I was finally ready to abandon my old man in my heart. He was no longer my father. From now on, I would just call him the bastard. But even so, what was I going to do? In the past, if a loan shark or mob guy approached me, I could point them in the bastard and that would be that. On the few occasions they'd gone after me, I could admit that the bastard... Stop clicking! But now that he has gone, I had to deal with it on my own this time. Me, an average student unlike him, I knew I couldn't talk my way out of it like he could. What do I do? Oh, I sunk down into the world of a tatimati mat. I had to run away, but where to? I really spent all my money on rent. I felt like my strength was leaving my body. Just then, there was a rapid knocking on the door. I felt my limp body tense up instantly.
Hey you, we know you're in there. Come on, get out here.
Whoa. I thought I could pretend I wasn't home, but the door was so thin that they could easily break it down.
Hey, you better get out here quick, or we'll break this door down.
Each kick caused the door to rattle. It really did look like it was going to break inward. I quickly moved to the back of the room, opened the closet door and squeezed inside.
Psst. Hide in the closet.
Closing the door didn't block out much sound, but it cut off most of the light and left me in the dark. I couldn't ride this out by hiding in the closet. I stood up, leaned forward and located the ceiling board above me. I lifted it up and set it aside. Restraining the urge to cough from the dust, I pulled myself above the ceiling. I heard the sound of the door breaking down just as I bored back into place.
Hey!
There was a crawl space in the ceiling, and despite it being tight fit, I managed to make it through. From there I made it outside, climbed down the rain gutter and ran off at full speed.
Hey boss, guess he wasn't just pretending not to be home?
Why is the window this colour?
Purple windows. Okay. Oh, we got things that we can see why the windows are purple. Not in the closet either. Damn, that brat got off to play somewhere despite being flat broke. Hey look, Kiyoshi. That bastard left a note behind. A note? That bastard's done for. He sold his kid to the loan sharks. He didn't just sell his kid, he sold his soul. I think you're right. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. It is horrible.
So horrible.
Yeah.
That was yesterday.
Okay. That was a long intro because we're out of recording time basically. Let's just fast forward to where we can see something more than just a scene of a room. Fast forward. There's a cat. There's some people. Are you gonna help her?
Yeah.
Help her. Yeah, help her. And there's a guy. See, all the interesting stuff happens after the intros in these things. It's really hard to do a first look video like that. Yay, interesting things. Let's take her out to dinner. Woo!
Steal her money.
Oh, that's me.
Get married to her. Then steal the money. There you go, done. Uh-oh. They're mob bosses. They're her parents.
You just make up the story as you go.
Yep. Uh-oh. Kitty.
Why'd the kitty have a rainbow strap?
I know, I'm
They're
jealous.
sour. Oh,
They're
dear.
good.
Oh, well.
Oh, blackness.
That's enough fast forwarding through things.
Moonstone.
Oh,
that was it.
Is that the intro?
That was it.
That's nice. It
Yeah.
would have taken us hours to get there.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll see you tomorrow.